Have you ever noticed that as we age, certain things we once took for granted start feeling a little different? You might not have the same energy, or maybe you've caught yourself wondering if your partner feels the same level of connection as before. If you've ever had that thought, trust me, you're not alone. As men hit their 60s, their bodies change, their hormones shift, and sometimes, without even realizing it, they start making little mistakes in the bedroom that can have a big impact on intimacy. And here's the kicker. Many of these mistakes aren't just affecting your own confidence, they're things women silently wish you'd change. Now, before you start thinking, "Oh no, am I doing something wrong?" Don't worry. The good news is, these are common mistakes, and they're completely fixable. In fact, just a few small changes can reignite that spark, build a deeper connection with your partner, and bring back the confidence you had in your younger years. Let's start with the first mistake, one that many men don't even realize is a problem. It has nothing to do with technique or performance, but everything to do with presence. Have you ever found yourself going through the motions without really being mentally present? Maybe your mind is wandering to work, bills, or that nagging pain in your knee. It happens to the best of us. But here's the thing. Women can sense when you're distracted, and it can make them feel disconnected, even if you don't say a word. Think back to when you first started dating. The excitement, the way you hung onto every word she said, the way you looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. That presence is what makes intimacy truly fulfilling. But over time, distractions creep in, and suddenly, it's more about routine than real connection. The fix? Slow down. Be intentional. Pay attention to her reactions, not just physically, but emotionally. If you're truly present, she'll feel it, and trust me, that makes all the difference. Now, let's talk about another mistake that's surprisingly common: ignoring the importance of touch outside the bedroom. Many men over 60 focus on intimacy as a singular event, something that happens only in the right setting. But for women, connection starts long before that moment. It's in the small things: the way you hold her hand, the unexpected kiss on the forehead, the gentle touch on her back as you walk by. Think of it this way. If physical touch becomes something that only happens in one setting, it can start to feel like an obligation rather than an expression of love. Women want to feel cherished, not just desired. And the truth is, you probably want that too. So, if you've fallen out of the habit of casual affection, start bringing it back. Hold her hand while watching TV. Give her a real, meaningful hug instead of just a quick pat on the back. These little gestures create a sense of closeness that naturally leads to better connection when the moment is right. And finally, let's address a mistake that almost no one talks about: neglecting self-care. It's easy to assume that after a certain age, things just are the way they are. Maybe you've noticed changes in energy, flexibility, or even confidence, and just accepted them as part of aging. But here's the truth. Taking care of yourself is one of the most attractive things you can do, not just for your partner, but for yourself. If you're feeling sluggish or out of shape, that's going to affect the way you carry yourself, the way you interact, and yes, even your confidence in the bedroom. But the great thing is, it's never too late to make a change. Something as simple as a daily walk, drinking more water, or even stretching in the morning can make a difference in how you feel. And when you feel better, you bring a whole new energy into your relationship. So, take a moment and ask yourself, are you being fully present? Are you keeping that connection alive outside the bedroom? And most importantly, are you taking care of yourself so you can show up as your best self? If any of these mistakes sound familiar, don't stress. Awareness is the first step, and now that you know, you can start making small changes that lead to big results. Now that we've covered these first few points, let's keep going. Because there's another mistake that many men make, one that can quietly create distance in a relationship without them even realizing it. And that mistake? Assuming that things will stay the same without effort. It's a common belief, especially in long-term relationships, that the spark should just be there. that if you love each other, everything else will naturally fall into place. But the truth is, intimacy, connection, and passion all require ongoing effort. It's not about grand gestures or trying to be someone you're not. It's about making small, meaningful choices every day to nurture your relationship. Think about how much attention you put into your relationship in the early days. You planned dates, you listened intently, you made her feel special. But as the years pass, life gets busy, routines settle in, and sometimes, without realizing it, men stop putting in the same level of effort. Not because they don't care, but because they assume their partner just knows how they feel. But here's the thing, women don't just want to be loved, they want to feel loved. And that feeling doesn't come from just existing together. It comes from those little moments of effort. Something as simple as planning a surprise dinner, writing a heartfelt note, or reminiscing about a special memory can reignite that emotional connection. It's not about expensive gifts or elaborate surprises. It's about breaking the routine, showing appreciation, and making her feel seen. And speaking of appreciation, let's talk about another mistake: forgetting to acknowledge your partner's efforts. Over time, it's easy to take things for granted. Maybe she still makes your favorite meal, or remembers the way you like your coffee, or does those little things that make life easier. But if she's been doing them for years without much recognition, she might start feeling invisible. Women, just like men, want to feel valued. They want to know that their presence in your life matters. So, take a moment to genuinely appreciate her. Not with a quick thanks, but with real acknowledgement. Tell her how much you love the way she laughs, or how grateful you are for the little things she does. The more you make her feel cherished, the more she'll want to reciprocate that energy in every aspect of your relationship. Now, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something a little more personal: how you see yourself. Because one of the biggest mistakes men over 60 make in the bedroom isn't about their partner, it's about their own mindset. Over time, a lot of men start to feel like they're past their prime. Maybe you've noticed some changes in stamina, maybe you don't feel as strong as you once did, or maybe you've convinced yourself that certain things are just off the table now. But here's the reality: confidence is everything. If you walk into any situation feeling insecure, it's going to show. But if you carry yourself with the belief that you are still desirable, that you still bring value, and that you are still capable of deep connection, that energy changes everything. Your partner doesn't want you to be 30 again. She wants you to embrace who you are now with confidence. The way you move, the way you speak, the way you engage with her, it all comes back to the way you see yourself. If you feel strong and desirable, she will too. And that leads us to another important point: taking care of your health. Many men assume that changes in intimacy are just a natural part of aging, but a lot of the time, it's actually tied to things that are in your control. Lack of movement, poor diet, and stress can all take a toll on energy levels and performance. The good news? Small changes can have a big impact. Are you staying active? Even a short daily walk can improve circulation and energy. Are you eating foods that fuel your body, or relying too much on processed meals? Are you prioritizing rest and relaxation? Stress is one of the biggest killers of desire and connection. Taking care of your health isn't just about longevity, it's about feeling your best so you can show up fully in your relationship. So, let's recap. Are you putting in the effort to keep the connection alive? Are you making your partner feel seen and appreciated? Are you carrying yourself with confidence? Are you taking care of your health so you feel your best? These aren't just bedroom tips, they're life tips. Because the stronger your relationship, the more fulfilled you feel in every area of your life. And we're not done yet. Because there's still one more mistake that men over 60 make, one that can completely change the way your partner feels about intimacy. And that mistake is avoiding real conversations about what she wants. This is where many men unknowingly create distance without realizing it. They assume that if their partner isn't bringing something up, everything must be fine. But the truth is, many women don't voice their needs. not because they don't have them, but because they don't want to hurt feelings, cause discomfort, or seem demanding. Think about it. How often do you and your partner actually talk about your needs, desires, and feelings when it comes to intimacy? Not just in passing, but in an open and honest way? For a lot of couples, it's been years, sometimes even decades, since they had a real conversation about what truly makes them feel loved and connected. Here's the thing. Assumptions are the enemy of intimacy. You might assume she's not as interested as she once was, when in reality, she might just be waiting for you to take the lead. You might assume she's content, when deep down, she's craving a different kind of connection. One that doesn't start in the bedroom, but in everyday moments of affection and closeness. Women need emotional intimacy to feel comfortable opening up physically. If she feels like your connection is more about routine than real engagement, she may pull away, not because she doesn't want closeness, but because she needs something deeper first. So, what can you do? Start small. A simple, "Hey, I want to make sure we're both happy and connected. What's something I could do that would make you feel more loved?" opens the door to conversation. You might be surprised by what she says. Maybe she wants more touch outside of the bedroom, a kiss on the forehead in the morning, holding hands when you're watching TV, or a compliment that reminds her she's still the woman you fell in love with. Maybe she wants to feel desired again, not just as a partner, but as a woman. Maybe she misses those little moments of flirtation, those spontaneous compliments that made her feel attractive and cherished. The key is to listen, without defensiveness, without assumptions, and without immediately jumping to solutions. Sometimes, she just wants to be heard. And here's something else that's crucial. Communication isn't just about words. It's about presence. When she's talking, are you fully engaged, or are you half listening while scrolling through your phone or watching TV? The way you respond to her in everyday conversations sets the tone for how she feels in deeper, more personal moments. The mistake many men make is waiting until there's a problem before having these conversations. But intimacy isn't just about fixing what's broken, it's about continually nurturing what's already there. And that's the real takeaway here. Men over 60 don't struggle with intimacy because of age. They struggle because they forget that passion and connection aren't just about what happens in the bedroom, it's about everything leading up to it. It's about putting in the effort, just like you did in the beginning. It's about making her feel appreciated, seen, and desired. It's about carrying yourself with confidence, knowing that attraction isn't about youth. It's about energy, presence, and how you show up. It's about taking care of yourself so you have the vitality to fully engage. And most importantly, it's about communication. Honest, open, and consistent. When you focus on these things, everything changes. Because intimacy isn't something that disappears with time, it's something that grows stronger when nurtured. And if you take even one of these steps today, you'll notice the difference. Not just in your relationship, but in how you feel about yourself. So, if this resonated with you, don't just think about it, put it into action. Start with one small change. A compliment, a question, a gesture of appreciation. See how it shifts the energy in your relationship. And if you found this helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more insights on living your best life after 60. Because this is just the beginning of a deeper, more fulfilling chapter. Here's to embracing it fully. It all comes down to this: connection is not lost overnight. It fades over time when the little things are ignored, the unspoken words, the lack of appreciation, the routines that replace spontaneity. But just as intimacy can fade, it can also be reignited. It's never too late. Now, let's talk about one final mistake that too many men make without realizing it. And this one? It's not just about your relationship. It's about you, your confidence, and the way you carry yourself every single day. One of the biggest killers of attraction isn't age. It's complacency. Think about how you felt when you first started dating, when you wanted to impress her, when you cared about how you looked, how you spoke, how you carried yourself. That energy, that confidence, That feeling of wanting to be your best? That's what made you attractive. That's what made her look at you the way she did. But over time, life happens. Responsibilities pile up. Comfort sets in. And somewhere along the way, many men stop putting in the effort, not because they don't care, but because they assume it doesn't matter anymore. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't about six-pack abs, a full head of hair, or looking 20 years younger. It's about the energy you bring into a room. It's about how you take care of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's about confidence, posture, the way you engage with life. Women are drawn to men who carry themselves with purpose. And that doesn't mean trying to look like a younger version of yourself. It means being the best version of yourself today. So ask yourself, when was the last time you did something that made you feel strong, energized, and alive? When was the last time you dressed up just because? Not for a special occasion, not because you had to, but because it made you feel good? When was the last time you learned something new, challenged yourself, stepped outside of your comfort zone? This isn't just about looking good for her. It's about feeling good for you. Because when you feel good in your own skin, everything changes. Your posture changes. Your energy shifts. You walk into a room differently. And believe me, she notices. So, if you've been feeling stuck, like the spark is gone, like you're just going through the motions, this is your wake-up call. Not just for your relationship, but for your life. You have so much more ahead of you than you think. And the best part? You get to decide how you show up for it. Because intimacy isn't just about attraction. It's about engagement. It's about effort. It's about showing up every day as the man you want to be. And when you do that, when you bring that energy into your relationship, everything shifts. The connection deepens. The attraction returns. And you realize that age has nothing to do with it. It's never too late to reignite passion. It's never too late to reconnect. It's never too late to feel alive again. So start today. One small step. One small change. And watch what happens. If this message resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Let me know in the comments. What's one thing you're going to do differently starting now? And if you want more content like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Because this is just the beginning of your best years yet. Here's to embracing them fully. It all starts with a decision. A decision to show up differently, to break the cycle of routine, to take back control of your confidence and connection. Because the truth is, passion doesn't disappear with age. It fades when we stop feeding it. You see, the real secret to keeping attraction alive isn't about making huge, overwhelming changes. It's about the little things. The everyday choices that build momentum, that create excitement, that make your partner feel seen, appreciated, and desired. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. First, start with presence. This means when you're with her, really be with her. Not halfway, not distracted, not looking at your phone while she talks. When she speaks, listen, not just to respond, but to understand. Notice the details. The way her face lights up when she talks about something she loves. The things she says in passing that might not seem important, but actually are. Women feel most connected when they feel heard. When they feel like you care about the small things. And that kind of attention, it's powerful. It reignites a sense of closeness. Next, never underestimate the power of touch. Not just in the bedroom, but in everyday life. A light touch on her back when you pass by. Holding her hand when you're walking together. A kiss that lasts just a little longer than usual. These small gestures remind her that she's still the woman who caught your eye all those years ago. And speaking of that, when was the last time you told her what you admire about her? Not just "I love you," but something specific. The way she handles challenges. The way she laughs. The way she still looks just as beautiful to you today as she did when you first met. These things might seem small, but they matter more than you realize. They create an emotional safety net, a foundation of warmth and connection. And when that's in place, intimacy follows naturally. But let's talk about something else, something that often goes overlooked. You can do all of this, but if you don't feel good about yourself, it's hard to bring that energy into a relationship. Attraction isn't just about how you treat her. It's also about how you carry yourself, how you take care of your body, your mindset, your confidence. Because let's be honest, if you don't feel strong, if you're not moving your body, if you're neglecting your own well-being, it shows. Not just physically, but in the way you interact, in your energy, in the way you show up in your relationship. So take a look at your daily habits. Are you moving enough? Eating foods that fuel you instead of drain you? Doing things that challenge your mind and keep you sharp? Confidence isn't about trying to be younger. It's about owning exactly where you are and making the most of it. And when you do that, it radiates. She sees it. She feels it. Attraction is about energy. Passion is about effort. And love is about choosing each other, again and again, every single day. So if you've been feeling like something's missing, now is your time to change that. Not with big, dramatic gestures, but with consistent, meaningful actions. Because it's never too late. And if you're ready to take that first step, drop a comment below. Let me know what resonated with you. And if this video spoke to you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Because life doesn't slow down after 60. In fact, in many ways, this is where it really begins. That's the thing most people don't realize. Passion doesn't have an expiration date. It doesn't disappear just because time has passed. It fades when we stop feeding it, when we let routine take over, when we assume that things can't be as exciting as they once were. But here's the truth. Attraction, intimacy, and deep connection aren't about age. They're about energy, presence, and effort. Think about the early days of your relationship. What made it exciting? What made her smile a little brighter when she looked at you? It wasn't just youth or novelty. It was the way you made her feel, the effort you put in, the way you noticed her, pursued her, made her feel like the most important person in the world. And that's something you can bring back, starting today. One of the biggest mistakes men make in long-term relationships, especially after 60, is assuming that passion should just be there without effort. That intimacy should just happen naturally, like it used to. But the reality is, the strongest relationships are the ones where both people actively choose to nurture the spark. That means breaking free from autopilot, changing the patterns that might have made things feel stale, making a conscious decision to bring playfulness, curiosity, and warmth back into your interactions. It's as simple as small, unexpected gestures. Leaving a note for her in the morning. Sending a thoughtful message in the middle of the day. Giving her a compliment that goes beyond the usual, "You look nice." Something real, something that makes her feel seen. And here's something else that makes a huge difference. New experiences. When was the last time you and your partner did something completely out of the ordinary? Maybe it's a short trip to a place you've never been, or trying a new hobby together. Even something as simple as changing up your routine, going for a walk in a different place, cooking a new meal together, can reignite that sense of discovery and fun. Novelty creates excitement, and excitement builds connection. The key is to stay curious. About her. About life. About all the things you can still explore together. And let's not forget one of the most powerful things you can do, genuinely prioritizing your health. Because here's the truth. Confidence, attraction, and energy aren't just about mindset. They're also about how you take care of yourself. When you invest in your health, when you move your body, when you eat foods that give you energy instead of drain you, it shows. Not just in the way you look, but in the way you feel, the way you carry yourself, the way you engage with the world. A man who feels strong in his own body, who has energy, who walks with confidence, he doesn't just attract his partner. He inspires her. He makes her feel excited to be around him. And let's be clear, this isn't about trying to look like you did at 30. It's about embracing where you are, taking care of yourself, and showing up with vitality. That's what's truly attractive. That's what keeps the spark alive. So if you've been feeling like something's missing, like things have gotten too predictable, this is your moment to shift that. Not with grand gestures, but with small, intentional changes. Because love doesn't fade, it evolves. And when you nurture it, when you bring presence, energy, and appreciation into your relationship, it grows into something even deeper than before. If this message spoke to you, drop a comment below. Let me know what resonated. And if you're ready to keep learning, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Because life after 60 isn't about slowing down. It's about stepping into a new chapter, full of depth, passion, and connection, if you choose to make it that way. It all comes down to choice. Every single day, you have the power to either let things stay the same or make a shift. And the good news? Even the smallest shift can reignite something powerful in your relationship. But here's where many men get it wrong. They assume that because things have been a certain way for years, that's just the way they'll always be. That passion and connection are things of the past, and now it's all about routine. But that belief, that's the real mistake. Because passion isn't something you either have or don't have, it's something you create. And the most fulfilling relationships aren't the ones that never face challenges, but the ones where both people decide to keep showing up for each other, to keep finding new ways to connect, to keep making the other person feel valued and desired. So let's talk about one of the biggest bedroom mistakes men over 60 make, one that many don't even realize is happening. It's the mistake of assumption. See, after years together, it's easy to assume we know what our partner wants, that we understand her completely, that we've already figured her out. But the truth is, people are always evolving. Desires shift. Needs change. And the moment we stop being curious, stop asking questions, stop paying attention, we start to drift apart. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do, right now, is to bring curiosity back into your relationship. When was the last time you asked her what makes her feel loved these days? What excites her? What she's been longing for? When was the last time you listened? Not to respond, not to fix anything, but just to understand her more deeply. Because here's the thing, women crave emotional connection just as much as physical intimacy. And when she feels seen, when she feels truly understood, that's when everything changes. That's when intimacy stops feeling like a routine and starts feeling like something alive again. And this doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as sitting down together, away from distractions, and saying, "Hey, I've been thinking, I want to make sure we keep growing together. What's something you've been wanting more of from me? How can I love you better?" That one conversation can open doors you never even realized were closed. Now, if this sounds unfamiliar or even a little uncomfortable, that's okay. Growth always feels a little uncomfortable at first. But what's on the other side? A deeper connection, more excitement, and a renewed sense of closeness that can change everything. And that brings us to another crucial mistake, one that too many men make without realizing how much it's affecting their relationship. It's the mistake of neglecting physical affection outside the bedroom. See, for most women, intimacy doesn't start the moment the lights go out. It starts way before that, in the way you interact throughout the day. In the little touches, the unexpected kisses, the playful teasing, the moments that remind her she's still the woman you desire. When was the last time you held her hand just because? Or pulled her close when she wasn't expecting it? Or looked at her in that way you used to when you were younger, like she was the only person in the room? These small moments are what build anticipation. They create a sense of closeness that naturally carries over into every other part of your relationship. Because the truth is, intimacy isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's about how you make each other feel every single day. It's about keeping the connection alive in ways that go beyond words. So if you're ready to make a shift, start here. Be more present. Be more intentional. Break the cycle of assumption and bring curiosity back into your relationship. Show affection in the small moments, not just when you want something in return. And watch how everything changes. If this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to keep growing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Because this journey, it's just getting started. And the best years of your relationship, they're still ahead of you, if you choose to make them that way. Now, let's talk about another surprising mistake that often goes unnoticed, but has a massive impact on intimacy and connection. It's the mistake of routine. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about having routines. In fact, some of the most successful relationships thrive on the comfort of shared habits. But when routine starts to replace spontaneity, when every interaction becomes predictable, when intimacy feels like something that's just scheduled rather than something that happens naturally, that's when things start to lose their spark. And the tricky thing is, it happens gradually. Maybe at one point, there was excitement, new experiences, surprises, a sense of adventure. But over time, life settles in. Responsibilities take over. You fall into habits. And before you know it, what once felt exciting now feels expected. The problem with this? It takes the fun out of intimacy. It removes the element of surprise, the feeling of anticipation, the playfulness that keeps a relationship feeling alive. And without even realizing it, couples stop pursuing each other. They stop flirting. They stop doing little things, just because. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest things to change. Because bringing spontaneity back doesn't mean you have to plan elaborate date nights or grand romantic gestures. It just means making small, intentional choices to break the pattern. Maybe instead of sitting in front of the TV every night like usual, you take a spontaneous evening walk together. Maybe instead of waiting for an anniversary or a special occasion, you plan something unexpected, a lunch date, a little getaway, or even just cooking something different together. Maybe instead of giving a quick kiss out of habit, you linger just a little longer. These small moments send a powerful message: I still see you. I still want you. And I still enjoy making you happy. And for many women, that feeling of being pursued, of being desired in a way that isn't just routine, is one of the most powerful ways to reignite intimacy. Now, let's address something important. Some men think, well, if she wanted something different, she'd tell me. But that's not always the case. Many women don't want to have to ask for spontaneity. They want to feel like their partner is thinking about them, noticing them, wanting to put in the effort on their own. They want to feel chosen, not just accommodated. So, if you're in a relationship where things have started to feel a little too predictable, this is your chance. Shake things up. Try something different. Inject playfulness and unpredictability into your daily interactions. Because the truth is, when a relationship feels exciting, intimacy follows naturally. It stops feeling like a task and starts feeling like something you both look forward to again. But that brings us to another mistake. One that's a little deeper, a little more personal, and one that can make or break a relationship at any age. It's the mistake of neglecting emotional intimacy. Now, you might be wondering, what does emotional intimacy have to do with what happens in the bedroom? The answer? Everything. Because for many women, emotional intimacy is the foundation of physical connection. If she feels disconnected, if she feels unheard, if she feels like there's distance between you outside the bedroom, then inside the bedroom, things aren't going to feel right either. This is why simply fixing things physically isn't enough. Real intimacy comes from a deeper place, from feeling safe, appreciated, and emotionally connected. So, what does this look like in practice? It means being present when she's talking to you, not just half listening while scrolling on your phone. It means showing appreciation for the little things she does, not just assuming she knows how much you care. It means checking in, not just about day-to-day logistics, but about how she's really feeling, what's on her mind, what's in her heart. For some men, this kind of deep emotional connection doesn't come naturally. Maybe you were raised in a time when men weren't really taught to express their feelings openly. Maybe you've gone through years of putting up emotional walls without realizing it. But the good news is, it's never too late to start. A simple, heartfelt conversation can work wonders. A genuine, "Hey, I know I don't always say it, but I really appreciate you," can mean more than you realize. A small effort to understand her emotions, to ask, "How have you been feeling lately? What's been on your mind?" can open the door to a new level of closeness. Because here's the truth. Real intimacy isn't just about what happens behind closed doors. It's about how you make each other feel every single day. It's about being the kind of partner who makes their spouse feel truly valued, not just as a companion, but as someone deeply cherished. And when a woman feels emotionally connected to you, that's when everything changes. That's when desire reignites, when intimacy becomes natural instead of forced, when your relationship stops feeling like something that's just there and starts feeling like something alive again. So, if you're looking to bring passion back into your relationship, start with this. Make her feel seen. Make her feel understood. Make her feel loved in ways that go beyond words. And watch how she responds. Now, we've talked about some major mistakes so far. Assuming you know what she wants without asking, neglecting physical affection outside the bedroom, falling into routine, and overlooking emotional intimacy. But there's still one more mistake that too many men over 60 make, one that can quietly destroy connection without either partner even realizing it.